I'm going to answer questions which you're going to ask. Basically, that's what the session is going to be. So it's going to be kind of a Q&A, completely Q&A, where you're going to ask questions related to startups or something related to that, and then we'll discuss on that. I could give you points on what is startup and how to make your own startup and all the things. I could do points, but before that, I just want to have a very detailed or very brief Q&A with you all, so that I know what need to be fed rather than giving all the points which are like that. Okay, so I'm just open with questions first. Usually it will be like a session and then Q&A, right? It's going to be the reverse here, where we're going to have a Q&A and then going to be just 5 or 10 minutes of talk. That's all from my end. So go ahead with your questions if you have any. If you don't, I have lots of questions which I could post it on. Okay, so yeah, any questions upon to start with? Maybe I'll start with a very basic question from my end itself. Do you know what is a startup? Do you know what is a startup? It's not mandatory need to be dictionary words. It can be your words. You could tell on your understanding or your perception of what is a startup. What is a startup? Okay, I'll tell you an example. Let's take an watermelon. Have you ever heard? Like, have you seen watermelon? Right? You want to say something? A good perception. Like, I'll tell you an example for us with the case of watermelon itself. Like, let's say there's no watermelon. What would be the cost of a watermelon? 20 rupees. Hardly. Let's keep a rough cost of 20. Okay. If I'm gonna buy it at wholesale, what will be the cost I get it? 18 rupees. So I sell it at 20 rupees, right? What is the profit over here? 2 rupees per melon. Now what I'm doing is I'm letting it a little greedy. Okay, let's keep that way. I'm getting little greedy. I'm cutting that watermelon into slices, and I sell a slice at a cost of what we separately sold to slices. What will be the cost? 20 rupees. One slice is going to be somewhere around, let's say 20 rupees. I have 10 slices. So the cost I am selling it at is 10 into 20 is going to be 200 rupees. What is the cost I bought? 18. 18 is what I bought at retail, wholesale, right? Like I'm selling it at 200 rupees. Now I'm getting a little more greedy. What I'm doing is I'm taking a slice and making it as a watermelon juice, and I sell it at a cost of 60 rupees, 50 to 60 rupees. Okay. Now I have 10 slices. 10 into 50 is going to be 500. What is the cost I got? 18. What is the cost I sold? 500. So the difference, if you could follow around, a businessman will get something and be as a transit in between to give it to someone. A startup is something that changes the product to a consumer's need and sell it to them. Either there be a demand or there not be a demand. They create a demand and give it to them. Okay, let's keep this way. I'll put it very simpler. A startup is something which gives a solution to a problem of a consumer or an end user. Either there is a demand or not. Irrespective of that, there is a problem which has been solved. Okay, that's what a startup is. But an entrepreneur is someone who actually solves a problem with a financial gain or a loss. Okay, let's say I am an entrepreneur. I do sell a product. Okay, that product can give me profits or that can also give me losses. It can be happening, right? The financial gain can be a profit or a loss, but I solve a problem. That is the person called as that person is called as an entrepreneur. Can you follow me? Can you get through me? Yes. Okay, nice. Now I'll tell you what is, according to you, mandatorily needed in a startup. Idea. Okay. Next. Funds. Okay. Next. Team. Good. Anything else? Plan. Okay. Distribution. Nice. Customers. Nice. See, if you list out which is high, selling the tablets whichever they wanted to give a content through. So they were not selling the content or the product, they were selling the tablets whichever they manufactured. At a point they were not able to sell the tablets across. So what they started to do was they started to acquire companies which were doing well. White Hat Junior or Akash or something like that. They started to acquire companies which were performing well. Now what happened, at a point there were no customers to expand. So they started to have a downfall. And also internally they had an operational issue which causes for the downfall. That operational issue came onto spotlight only because of the customer segment unreachable. They don't have the expansion of customers, so that operational issue came into spotlight and it started the downfall. So what I am trying here is, anywhere across, wherever you go, the ultimate end point is going to be a customers. What they need, how do you give them the basic data out of it, and how do you solve their problem or give it to them. I'll tell you that not every idea is going to be feasible. Not every idea is going to be making a billion-dollar company, or it's going to be a unicorn. Certain ideas can be stagnated, but provision of that idea to an upgradation or keeping it updated will make that idea to get evolved. Okay, tell what it is. How will you find your customers? See, a product can be a pen, your product can be a suit, your product can be a rocket engine, anything, it can be anything. The highest priority you need is a customer. Without a customer, your product is not going to be sold. Without selling it out, you will not be able to make another product, right? So, highest priority should be your customers. The second is going to be idea, basically. What problem you are solving to the customers is what the next thing is. Like, let's say, I'll tell you how to find your idea or your problem. I don't know whether I have said this example to the other guys who have been with me, but I'm reiterating it again. During my college days, I have to do a final year project because I'm an engineering grad, so I have to do my final year project. During our college days, we don't have to go to college in our last semester, so we usually don't go. Fortunately or unfortunately, one fine day, all of my teammates went to college on a very accidental note. We were not aware that everybody is coming across. So we were there in the college for different reasons. Okay, we discussed that, okay, let's came. Since we came, let's start discussing about the project. We are very clear that the project should be done from by ourselves, which is a problem which we face in our regular day-to-day life. So we started to list out all the problems which we face from early morning to night we sleep. Everything was a problem which we were not able to solve, but practically coming across, we were discussing a lot of problems like from getting up to going to bed. We were not able to find a solution at all, and we said it became lunch time, and we wanted to go out for lunch. We usually eat at a lunch shop which is very little far away from our college. Only one of our friends had the bike, so we have to go triples in the bike, right? So, but why? That is where we started to think why there is no system that is showing what is the tire pressure in our bike itself. Why you have to go for a petrol pump to check the tire pressure? So that is where it started, and we just took forward with the idea, and we found that there are two difficulties in it. One is the company itself is not ready to do that. The second is the technical problems in it. Let me tell you the technical problems. Any medium, how will you measure the tire pressure? You need to have a sensor or something like that, right? If you place it inside the tire, like in the tire itself, then you have to connect a wire, okay, that which will give you the data to your controller and it will display in the display or something like that. That wire, when the tire rotates, will also rotate. So it will be very difficult for having kilometers of wire to be installed. So that is a technical problem. If it is going to be wired, let's say if it is going to be wireless. If it is wireless, there is a problem which is it is metal parts. Okay, radiations get reflected on metal parts. So again, if you use a metal part, if you use a sensor which is sending data wirelessly, then the data will not be properly sent to your controller and you will not be able to see the data properly. So these are the technical problems. The business prospect or the business problem here is, here what happens is, if you are given data, like let's say it is not 40, it is 39 or 38, what you will do is you will start maintaining the pressure, right? Like in the case, if the petrol is getting less, you will automatically go to petrol bunk and you will start refueling it, right? Similarly, if the gas pressure is, the tire pressure is less, what you will do is you start go and maintain it. If you start maintaining it, you will not buy a new tire very frequently, right? That is the business problem which the companies have. So that is why what I'm trying here is, whatever you see has a problem in it. How you pass out the problem is what mandatorily need to be secret. I'll tell you one instance or one example. How many of you, and again, most of you would have known it, who has been with me. How many of you know